All right, let's get right into it. We all want to get better, right? To grow. But what if the one thing holding you back isn't something you know, but something you don't even notice? We're going to explore this huge difference between just being smart and actually being aware.
You know that feeling, don't you? Where you're in the middle of a conversation or just going about your day, and you get this nagging sense that there's something else going on, a whole other layer that you just can't quite see? Well, that feeling is universal, and it points to something really important.
See, we often think if things go wrong, maybe we're just not smart enough. But look at this comparison. Psychology is showing us that the real problem, a lot of the time, isn't a lack of intelligence. It's a low level of awareness. It's not about how well you can solve a puzzle on paper. It's about how clearly you're seeing what's happening right here, right now.
So to make this really hit home, let's follow the story of someone we can probably all relate to on some level. Let's call him Alex. Now, Alex is smart, they mean well, they're trying their best, but they keep feeling stuck, misunderstood, like they're hitting these invisible walls, and they have no idea why.
Okay, first up, let's look at one of the biggest areas this shows up, social situations. This is where our blind spots can be the loudest, even if we're the only ones who can't see them. So picture it. Alex is in a team meeting. It's a little tense. Alex decides to break the ice, crack a joke. In their head, it was perfect. A total home run. They're smiling, thinking, nailed it. Everyone's relaxed now.
But here's what was actually happening in the room. A colleague is just sitting there thinking, wow, that was incredibly awkward. That one thought shows this huge, massive canyon between how Alex intended to come across and how they actually landed.
And bam! That one little moment just showed us the first two big signs of an awareness gap. One, Alex had no idea how that joke actually affected the vibe in the room. And two, they were completely clueless about how everyone was now seeing them. So there's a term for the skill Alex is missing here: social self-monitoring. Think of it like an internal radar. It's what lets you read the room, see how people are reacting, and then, adjust what you're doing. If that radar is off, you're basically flying blind. And this is tied to another cool concept, meta-perception. This is all about how accurately you can guess what other people are thinking about you. If there's a big gap between what you think they're thinking and what they actually are, well, that's where these constant blind spots come from.
Okay, but it's not just about big group dynamics. This awareness gap gets even sneakier in our one-on-one conversations, hiding between the actual words people say.
So later that day, Alex is telling a friend about some new plan, and the friend goes, with this tone, you know the one, "Oh, I'm sure that was a great idea." Alex just hears the words, thinks, great, they're on board, and completely, totally misses the dripping sarcasm.
And this points us to the third sign: you miss the context. It's not about vocabulary. It's about the tone, the body language, the whole situation. You end up taking everything at face value, missing what's really being said.
What Alex missed is called subtext. Real awareness, real communication, is about hearing both the words and the music playing behind them. It's about getting what's meant, not just what's said. Without that, you're only having half the conversation.
So, we've looked outward. Now, let's turn the lens inward. Because honestly, some of the biggest blind spots are the ones we have about ourselves and the invisible scripts we live by. Alex gets home, totally stressed out. Something tiny happens. The trash wasn't taken out, whatever, and suddenly they are deep in the exact same argument with their partner they've had a million times. But here's the crazy part. To Alex, it doesn't feel like a pattern. It feels brand new, completely justified, every single time.
And that one recurring fight? It perfectly lays out our last two signs of low awareness. First, Alex doesn't connect the dots that their stressed out mood is hijacking their thinking. And second, they're literally repeating the same behavior over and over without ever seeing it as a pattern.
What's really going on is this vicious loop. You can see it right here. The same little trigger happens that causes the same stressed reaction, which kicks off the same fight and leads to the same bad feeling. And on it goes. The only way to break the loop is to first realize you're in one.
And the root cause of this is low emotional awareness. This is when your feelings are secretly in the driver's seat of your brain, but they're telling you that you're being totally logical. You think you're being rational, but really, your mood is calling all the shots.
So, after all of this, the awkward moments, the miscommunications, the repeating fights, what happens next? Well,
This is where things can really start to change.
Then one day, it just clicks. Alex has this moment of clarity. Maybe it's after another one of those arguments, but they finally see it. The problem isn't that everyone else is difficult. The common denominator in all these situations is their own lack of awareness. They see the silent patterns for the first time.
And that's really the heart of it. Our biggest growth opportunities usually aren't these big, loud, obvious failures. They're these quiet little blind spots, these invisible patterns. And the solution isn't to get smarter, it's to get more aware.
Which all boils down to this powerful idea. You can't think your way out of a problem you don't know you have. Real growth, real improvement doesn't come from just thinking harder. It comes from noticing more.
So, I'll leave you with this to think about. In your own life, your work, your relationships, your own head, are you operating with full awareness? Or maybe, like Alex at the start of the story, are you only seeing part of the picture?